Genesis chapter 16. Hagar and Ishmael. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. And so she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Abram agreed to do what she said. So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai his wife took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Then Sarai said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my slave in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. Your slave is in your hands," Abram said. "Do with her whatever you think best." And Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road to Shur. And he said, "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going?" "I'm running away from my mistress Sarai," she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." The angel added, "I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "You are now pregnant and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her, "You are the God who sees me," for she said, "I have now seen the one who sees me." That is why the well was called Beer Lashro, and is still there between Kedesh and Beard. So Hagar bore Adam a son and Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael.
So in Genesis chapter 16, we have verse 1 and 2, where Sarai takes matters into her own hands. God had promised Abram descendants in chapter 15, but Sarah's barrenness led to impatience. Giving a servant to a husband was cultural norm, but this wasn't God's plan. So they became impatient and did not trust God's timing. And God's timing is tough, but shortcuts also lead to strife sometimes. In verse 3 and 4, Hagar conceives, and pride and contempt grow. Hagar feels elevated after becoming pregnant, which creates tension. Sarah regrets the decision and blames Abram. This is the snapshot of what happens when we try to help God fulfill his promises for us. Verse 5 and 6, conflict escalates. Sarai feels wronged and mistreated by both Hagar and Abram. Abram, in an attempt to stay out of it, tells Sarai to handle it, leading to Hagar being mistreated. So Hagar runs away, feeling unseen and unwanted. In verses 7 through 12, God sees Hagar in the wilderness. The angel of the Lord, likely it's the divine appearance of God, finds her, showing God cares about even the outcast. He tells her to return and submit, but not without giving her a promise. Her son Ishmael, God hears, will be a wild man, a free spirit, living outside the norm and father of a great nation. In verse 13 and 14, Hagar names God, the God who sees me. This is powerful. A servant girl running away names God. She feels seen, heard, and valued, something she lacked from the humans around her. In verses 15 and 16, Hagar returns and gives birth to Ishmael. Abram is 86 years old, so God's promise is moving forward, but not without consequences from the detour they took. So, in the key themes is God sees the overlooked. Hagar felt invisible, but she felt seen. Rushing God's plan leads to pain. God still works through broken choices.